Hey folks, so this is a Shimano 105. It's a 5600 series rim brake and caliper, and as you can see, this is a pretty common thing I see on just really any side pull caliper brake, but it's what referred to as dead throw. And what basically what that means is that the spring in the actual brake caliper is not strong enough to pull all the slack out of the cable. So there's a little slack in the cable. You pull the lever and it has a little bit of just pulling slack from the cable before it actually starts to actuate the caliper. And so I'm just kind of trying to run through and isolate maybe where that's coming from. And just from going through here, the way it's bunching up in between the front section of the brake cable and the rear section, I've decided that it's somewhere within the cable and then the caliper itself. So if we just disconnect the fixing bolt where it holds the caliper in, we can disconnect the housing. Anyway, this is a frame that is loose, so I can feel the housing there and then actually just squeeze the brake with my hand and feel. And they both had pretty good amount of friction. The front section of cable felt pretty good. But anyway, this is just a quick little trip to get your little brake tune up without having to replace the cables. Ideally, that's probably, if they're pretty old, that's the best solution long term. But just for a quick fix kind of thing, just giving it a little seasonal tune up to get you by for a bit without spending really any money, you can do this. So what I did there was just lubricate it. I put some Tri-Flow on the inner cable and just worked it through over the housing. Pulled the wheel off just so we can get a little better action working with this. So I've got that where the bolt is, a little tension bolt, and then the pivot, and then under this pivot that I'm pointing at, we're going to put some lube there. And then on the actual spring, where it kind of slides back and forth, there's a little plastic bit there as it kind of hooks into the perch there on the actual brake caliper. So I'm just going to drip a little bit of this Tri-Flow, or whatever kind of lubricant you like to use. Tri-Flow works pretty well. I know it's pretty, got the Teflon PTFE, which a lot of folks aren't a big fan of, but anyway, whatever lube you want to use is just great. So I put it in those little areas and worked it around, and it's a couple seconds later it basically feels like a brand new brake. So just spraying a little simple green on a rag here and just wiping off all the excess lube that might have kind of dripped over, and you don't want to get that on any braking surfaces or anything, or you'll have a bigger problem at hand. So anyway, just wiping all the excess lube down and stuff, or not necessarily overspray, but what kind of got dripped over the sides or whatnot. And so I just temporarily kind of cinched the cable down just to get a feel of everything, and felt great. Feels pretty good now. So off camera I went ahead and just squirted a little down inside the front section of the housing there. You can just tilt the bike up and let it drip down in there. So anyway, but before even doing that, it felt great. Pretty much took care of the problem. So I'm just squeezing the pads together here by hand. Some guys will use a fourth hand tool, but you can usually just hold it with one hand and then cinch the fixing bolt down. Sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error. Usually I'll adjust the little adjusting barrel there at the top of the caliper all the way in, or maybe most of the way, a turn or so out, and then you can kind of just fine tune it where you like it at this point. So yeah, hopefully you might have find this video helpful. If you're having some brake issues, you may not even know this is an issue. You're just doing a little tune up. And anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.